SeatGeek. For all your ticketed events, from sporting to concert outings, SeatGeek has you covered. They even conveniently color-coded each ticket on their website from amazing to worst, so you can easily know which are the best deals. SeatGeek, the smart way to buy. Save $20 off your next ticket purchase with the promo code. Hey everybody, I'm your host, Gato, also known as the Big Kite. My cool kites, put your paws up. If you're rocking with the Big Kite today, we're going to do a 7th round mock draft for the Carolina Panthers. We'll find out who we're going to take, y'all. But first, one quick question before we get started. Do you love the Carolina Panthers like I love the Carolina Panthers? Yes, no, maybe, sometimes. Do you love the Carolina Panthers like I love them? If you love the Carolina Panthers like I love the Carolina Panthers, with the 7th pick, the Carolina Panthers select. Who they select? All right, Roger Goodell, say what? Give him a what? Give him a dap. We'll talk about the Carolina Panthers 7th round mock draft. Let's get into it.
That boy is good.
Before we get started, make sure you subscribe, click the notification bell so you don't miss a video. Now, today we're going to do one of several mock drafts leading all the way up to April. And listen, everybody that I picked for all 7 rounds, I like it, man. I like each and every one of them. Now, I got to give you guys a bit of a caution. A lot of you guys get in that comment section and you get the gawking at the mouth. Before you start gawking at the mouth, please make sure you do your research. Everybody that I don't pick, I don't do my research on. Check out their medical research. Check out their performance research. Also, go on YouTube. If you can't find their game film on YouTube, you can find it on the internet. So again, don't be felonious with your lips. Go ahead and make sure you do your research. Now, I want to say that everybody I looked at, I like them real good, but this is just one of many. Now, I am today Roger Goodell. I'm also David Tepper, and I'm also Herney. And with that being said, if you look at the bottom of the screen, you see the clock. Carolina Panthers are officially on the clock. 2 minutes, y'all. All right, man. So what are we going to do with this pick? A lot of you guys say trade this and Cam Newton for the 1st round pick. Plausible. Derrick Brown? Well, likely. Or offensive tackle? Yeah, I can see that happen. Isaiah Simmons? Possible as well. Again, Carolina Panthers have a lot of needs. I can't overly emphasize how many needs they have. And can I be honest with you? By the end of this show, you're going to realize the draft is not going to be able to plug every need, but we're going to find a good bit of talent. With that being said, the Carolina Panthers have been one of the worst run defenses for the last 2 or 3 years, all right? And I got to give it up for the offensive line. When Kyle Allen took over for the 5-game stretch, they did admirable. So that lets me believe that if these guys stay healthy, they can perform. Okay, so with that being said, I got to say offensive line has to be the second need. You know what I mean? Second need, but it's still a main priority. So with that being said, I'm going to stop the clock with around 50-something seconds left, and the draft pick is in. Let's go ahead and see who's in. The Carolina Panthers with the 1st round, 7th pick. Select Derrick Brown, defensive tackle out of Auburn. Woo! Yeah, we selecting D. Bryan. Now, with that being said, my man can be a odd even front defender. He could be a 2-gap defender. My man could be just a pressure defender. He is the most dominant defensive lineman in this draft. To me, more dominant than Chase Young. I don't care what anybody says. If you understand football, if you understand like when Julius Peppers came out, the magnitude and the ability he had, this guy's on that level. He's an all-pro caliber player. He's a guy who, if he stays healthy and produces, going to be messing around and be in the Hall of Fame one day. His first punch with his hands is electric. Not only does he use his hands to get you off balance, your offensive tackle, offensive guard, he drives through with his hips, and he uses that force, and he runs by you. He's a run stuffer. He has a motor from hell. My man couldn't be turned off if you had if you had 2 keys to his ignition and you put an ignition coil off his distributor cap. He is electric. He doesn't stop. He's a force to be reckoned with. You cannot pass up on this kind of a guy. Okay, especially with Carolina Panthers being at the bottom of the run defense the last 2 years. We need this caliber right here, and I think we're going to take him. So the Carolina Panthers, with the 7th pick in the 1st round, no, they don't trade it. We get Derrick Brown out of Auburn.
Life is good. You know what I mean?
All right, we're back on the clock with the 2nd round. Hold up, y'all. Hold up. What's that? Oh, breaking news. There's a trade. There's a trade going on. Let's get the details. Hold on. Okay, the Denver Broncos at the 15th pick, have traded their 15th pick plus a 3rd round pick for Cameron Gerald Newton. Wow. That's right. I believe that's going to be a trade for Cam Newton. Listen, when it comes to Cam Newton going to Denver. There's several places he could really go to. He could end up going to Indianapolis. He could end up going to Denver. But more than likely, Indianapolis is happy with Jacoby Brissett. But just imagine if they had a real legit quarterback. But I think they got a little too much belief in him. And fine, let them fall on their face. But again, I think John Elway had pulled this move in the past with Joe Flacco, with Peyton Manning. He loves veteran quarterbacks. Those guys have a couple nice pieces out there at receiver. They have Phillip Lindsay at running back. They also have my man Royce Freeman at running back. So again, makes sense. I think they're going to take a chance with that. And the Carolina Panthers, they received the 15th pick. Now, the Denver Broncos had 3. Denver Broncos have 3 third-round draft picks. We're going to get the second of the third-round draft picks, the 83rd pick. So I think Carolina Panthers pulled the trigger. Too good of a price to pass up on. John Elway's happy. He gets a quarterback that's probably gonna be good for about next 2-3 years, and we get a high draft pick. Now let's go ahead with that 15th pick. Who do the Carolina Panthers select? Got a couple seconds left on the clock. Let me draw it out a little bit. No, let's go ahead. Carolina Panthers need a lot of pieces. Do we go offensive tackle right here? Listen, as I said before, this draft is loaded with offensive linemen and defensive linemen. No need to reach. Be patient. Stop being antsy. Be patient. There's some good quality offensive linemen, and it helps the fact that we're at the top of the second order in the second round. So we're going to be good. So with that 15th pick, the Carolina Panthers select T. Higgins.
Is you dumb?
So now that the Carolina Panthers selected T. Higgins with this 15th pick from the trade from Denver Broncos of Cam Newton, I mean, the reason why this makes sense is, again, you can get an offensive lineman in the early second round, first round quality offensive lineman. You get a playmaker to go along with DJ Moore, okay? Curtis Samuel, no disrespect to him, but I'm moving him to the slot. I think he'll be better there. I actually think he's going to be like a Ted Ginn Jr. as far as being able to get open in that slot. He's going to eat up over there. But T. Higgins is just a hell of a talent, okay? My man can catch in congested areas. He has yards after catch ability. He also can defeat the press with his quickness, okay? Red zone, he can get open. He's probably going to be an X at the next level, but he can play anywhere on the field, all right? Slants, red zone threat. You got to make this move. Again, I'm not worried about offensive linemen right now because we draft at the top of the second round. I think there's going to be a nice little piece right there, but you have to make this move. I think T. Higgins is something special. Now, check this out. With Cam Newton being traded, we got 2 first-round picks. We got Derrick Brown and T. Higgins. Both of these guys could be Pro Bowl players. So, again, super happy. Now things are starting to shape up.
Is you dumb?
All right, back on the clock again. The second round, the Carolina Panthers are up. All right, so who do we need now? We got T. Higgins. We got Derrick Brown. All right. So, again, we established that we need a offensive lineman. A lot of you guys want Andrew Thomas out of Georgia, and yes, he's the truth, okay? Go dog, sick and boo boo boo. Again, we don't want to reach. This thing is loaded. Hopefully this next guy that I'm about to call, hopefully he's still here. I think he slides just barely into the top of the second. I think he may get scooped up towards the end of the first round, but in this mock draft, I have him sliding to us. So, with the pick is in, let's go ahead and make this move. Mekhi Becton. Yeah, from Louisville, offensive tackle. You talking about a smooth brother. Big boys ain't supposed to move like this. Big boys don't supposed to have footwork like this. My man has strength. He has footwork. And the beautiful thing about his pass blocking scheme, if you're talking about a punch, he's 6'7", 369. Packing a punch. When he punches your ass, you fly back like Superman. I'm telling you, he has a nice punch. Sometimes his hand placement is a little lofty, okay? Now, Andrew Thomas has a better hand placement, but when it comes to him, he does have that power there, and you can work on that hand placement. His balance, he doesn't overset. You know how some offensive linemen, when they got their hand in the dirt, they leaning too far in, or they're leaning too back when they get ready to pass block. He's very balanced. He's smooth. He can pull. He can get out on edges, and he has that power. He has that quickness. A smooth pass setter. It's going to be a hell of a pass blocker for Kyle Allen. I think Kyle Allen's going to be our starting quarterback, but we'll talk about it here later on. I don't want to spoil the surprise. But whoever's at our quarterback, let's say that. He's going to be a hell of an offensive tackle right there. And again, we don't know the uncertainty of Greg Little. We don't know how that's going to pan out. But this guy right here is a potential first-round draft pick. but I think he just slides out and he comes to us at a gem. So let's take a look at what we got so far. We got Derrick Brown, T. Higgins, Mekhi Becton from Louisville. Excuse me if I pronounce his name wrong. I know a lot of you guys are English majors out there. Big cat, don't get it right. But yeah, I like this move. Big guy, 6'7", 369, and can move. My man can skate. All right, so again, that's who we go with the first or the second round. With the first pick in the second round. The Carolina Panthers are back on the clock with the third round draft pick. All right, y'all, we made it this far. We don't address the defensive line. We addressed the wide receiving core. We addressed the offensive line. We got a couple more things we need to fix. All right, so we got inside linebacker up. We got cornerback. We got the quarterback issue. Let's see, you know, there's a separate the defensive ends. I mean, we can go any place right here, but at this point, you have to look at what's best available on the board. Okay, if you could find, okay, for example, if the defensive end is up there, you got a cornerback up there, you got a linebacker up there, you got a safety up there. At this point, even though you want to, let's say, expound upon that defensive line, you got to go with whatever's best. Okay, so you're not going to take a second-rated defensive lineman when there's a first-rated cornerback on the board. It doesn't make no sense. You can draft back, all right? So with this right here, the Carolina Panthers, go ahead and make the pick. The pick is in, y'all. All right, the Carolina Panthers select Trevon Diggs from Alabama. Cornerback, yeah, cornerback from Alabama. Check this out right here. With the uncertainty of James Bradbury's future, along with the Dante Jackson taking a huge step back, you need an extra piece in that secondary right there. Now, I think Bradbury should be resigned. I'm hoping he's being resigned. But if not, you got a true zone corner right here. My goal is to have Bradbury resign. Put Dante Jackson in the slot where he can use his speed to match up against quicker receivers. Doesn't have to worry about being that liability that he was out there by himself. Go ahead and put my man Trevon Diggs out there. Yeah. My man has a good job. Does a good job from flipping from zone to boundary when it comes to coverage. He also can make some alpha male plays. I mean, he can jump routes. He can make plays as well. Fluid, 6'2", 207 pounds. Fluid in the hips. My man is a good zone coverage, legit cornerback, and that's the scheme that we're going to run. You know what I mean? So again, you make this play right here because I think he's going to be the best available. I don't know how many defensive ends. This class ain't deep with defensive end, but inside defensive lineman, there's a lot in here. And like I said, offensive tackle, there's a lot in here, but not deep at defensive end. So you have to make this pick right here. And again, this is a pick for position, a pick for need, and a pick for best available. And I think he's the best available player on the board for what we need. And Trevon Diggs is going to be a hell of a standout player with this team.
Message.
So just to follow up with Trevon Diggs, one of his weaknesses is he's not a good tackler. Okay, again, he's one of those guys that he can cover you and has a good jam on the press, but when it comes to open field tackling, I mean, he can get powered through a lot. But again, if you stop them from being able to catch the ball, and you're able to shut them down, you don't have to worry about that. He does pretty good in press just as much as he does in zone as well. So again, there's some things to work on, but his upside is too much to pass on, especially at this spot. Next on the clock, Carolina Panthers with the Denver Broncos, third round, 83rd pick. Now, look, we could easily go defensive end. Again, we got middle linebacker to address. I want to stop right there real quick, guys, with this middle linebacker spot. There's nobody in this draft that is immediately ready to come out, maybe other than Isaiah Simmons, which you don't make that move that high with the 7th pick. Other than that, you're not going to find it. You're going to find some project players, but I just don't want. I'm going to go ahead and save you some drama and some anxiety. We're going to have to take a free agent middle linebacker, somebody with experience, and then we can get somebody out of the draft with that we can groom. You know what I mean? So again, I just want to pipe you guys down. So with that being said, who do we go with this second third round pick from the Cam Newton trade? Well, we go with Jake Hanson, center from Oregon. Again, this guy right here did real good against Derrick Brown of Auburn when they played the first game of the season. Had his hand full, did the best he could. My man's very, very durable, had 34 straight games of straight starts before he got disqualified because of unnecessary roughness play. My man has some nastiness in him, quickness in him, 6'2", 307 pounds. We definitely going to need a new center, especially with Matt Paradis. Being the last center in the league, giving up the most sacks and most pressure in the league for a center. So I'm not gonna call him a bust, but he struggled mightily last year, and it's definitely time for upgrade. So now, with that being said, we got Mekhi Becton, and then we also got right here we got Jake Hanson at center, and listen, we got right guard Trey Turner, and then you got Taylor Moton at right tackle, and then you got my man at left guard Van Roten. So they're looking pretty good already. Got some youngness, youthfulness in there. You got some veteranness in there. So let's go with our 2 third-round picks: Trevon Diggs, hell of a zone cornerback, and our second third-round pick is Jake Hanson, center. All needs. And then we got our a second-round pick, Mekhi Becton, a first-round caliber kind of offensive tackle. Then we got our first-round pick, T. Higgins, wide receiver from the Cam Newton trade. And then we got our number one pick, seven round, Derrick Brown. So again, looks real good, real clean, meeting every need. So who do we go with in the 4th round? Stick around.
All right.
The Carolina Panthers are on the board with the 4th round pick. All right, y'all. So again, several ways we can go here, but again, the theme is stick with who is the best available for your needs. All right, not the best available on the board. So with that being said, we can go defensive end. Like I said, it's not a lot of DNs in here, man. I just again, this will be better off, us going to get somebody that's a veteran defensive end, just as well as a veteran linebacker, middle linebacker. I don't really see us getting a defensive end out here unless he's a project. With that being said, Greg Olsen is retiring, and I think we find his predecessor here. All right, the pick is in. The Carolina Panthers select with the 4th pick, Kmet, tight end from Notre Dame. I love this pick. 6'5", 235 pound guy. Listen, not much action before 2019. Got his first start against my Georgia Bulldogs. Put up 108 yards. Nice guy. Big, rangy tight end. Looks good in the 3-point stand. Can release off the line smooth. Sometimes he lets the ball get to his chest, you know what I mean, instead of catching it with his hands. Not the best blocker in the world, but he can hold his own. You don't want to leave him back there too much against a linebacker or defensive line. They'll eat him up, but he can do decent, all right? He's a decent guy. Again, smooth. He reminds me of a Kyle Rudolph, a young Kyle Rudolph. Definitely could be a underrated player in this draft, all right? Smooth release, and we need it. Again, Ian Thomas, not saying that he can't develop, but so far it looks like, he's struggling to kind of mature as a player, not as a man, but with that being said, Brink coming in as well, 6'5", another guy who's a two-star athlete, play baseball and play football. Guy who's a little bit of a project, a little bit of a rangy kind of guy, but has a very, very big upside. Not only that, he's a guy who's willing to take hits over the middle, give his body up to make plays, and he also can be a red zone threat. Makes every bit of sense to make this move to get this guy who should go higher, but I don't think he will, drop to us at the 4th round. Carolina Panthers select him. All right, the Carolina Panthers are back on the clock with the 5th round pick. All right, y'all, it's getting late in the draft, and a lot of you guys are like, where's my quarterback of the future? I need my quarterback of the future. Usher Mike, the big cat got you. Or do I? Again, man, let's just do a quick recap of what we got. Derrick Brown, defensive tackle stud. T. Higgins from the Cam Newton trade. We got some Mekhi Becton, 2nd round pick. Trevon Diggs, cornerback from Alabama. We got with the Denver trade, the 3rd round pick, Jake Hanson, center from Oregon. We also got with the 4th round pick, Kmet, good rangy tight end, a young tight end, good blocking tight end, decent blocking tight end, good hands, good red zone threat. And here we go, number 5. Carolina Panthers got the pick in. Carolina Panthers select Jalen Hurts from Oklahoma. Yeah, Jalen Hurts takes a little bit of a slide here in this year's draft. I honestly believe that he's light on his feet, calm, smooth, good composure, a lot of arm strength. My man's decision making, he has some lapses at time, okay? Touch passes tend to sell on him. Accuracy, it's a little bit of an issue. He pivots off his back feet with ease. He's light on his feet, allow him to take off at the drop of a dime. His mechanics, he has a big, strong arm, so sometimes his mechanics can be questionable. But all in all, again, he's a project guy. Somebody that you can groom into a future starter. Has a lot of goodness, especially when you say he's poised. Also, light on his feet in this new system where it's going to cause you to be mobile. Again, you got to get those eyes downfield. When he gets in trouble, his eyes tend to go down looking like, oh, shit, where do I go? If we can get him to train and keep those eyes upfield, even when the pocket starts to collapse, I think my man has the potential to be elite. Okay, he could be elite. He could be a unsung hero in this draft. You know what I mean? So again, I think he slides to the 5th round. I mean, bad for him, but good for us. Project player. I'm anticipating Kyle Allen to be our starter going into next year. You put guys like Mekhi Becton around him, Jake Hanson, and then you got Trey Turner and Taylor Moton, and then you got Greg Van Roten. It's starting to look good. So Kyle Allen was able to do his thing when those guys were healthy. All right, Kyle Allen got in trouble when he started to force things, and when that offensive line got hurt. The force things came because he was part of a rookie. All right, when the offensive line got hurt, that was out of his control. So you surround him with pieces like these guys right here. Allow Jalen Hurts to sit behind him, and we'll go from there. All right. Carolina Panthers are now on the board with the 6th round pick. Let's trade this pick. There's no talent in the 6th round. What are we doing here? Let's just give this up and go get another quarterback. Nah, hold your horses. The big cat got you. The selection is now in. The Carolina Panthers select Marcus Bailey, inside linebacker, Purdue. Now, this guy, and I mean this. This guy's the smartest inside linebacker in this draft. Smart. With Luke Kuechly being retired, I mean, you're going to want somebody to eventually replace him, and that's going to be hard to do. Big shoes to fill. So you ask me, Big Cat, if he's so smart, what's he doing in the 6th round? Well, he's injured. He had injury prone, man. I mean, he had injury to his knee this year. He also had injury to his knee coming out of his freshman year. Okay, so with that being said, hold your horses. Man, we ain't going to draft nobody with no injury. Do you remember this guy by the name of, what's his name? Thomas Davis? Now, I'm not saying that they're the exact same kind of player. I'm saying from the fact that he battled back from 4 knee injuries. Again, this guy right here is smart, can play in the box. I mean, my man can play weak side linebacker, middle linebacker. He can play any position. My man can uncover easily. He can fight through blocks. He can get to the point of attack. He can field. He can cover decently. He knows how to shadow crossing receivers. He can drop back in coverage and hold his own thing. Only issue is the fact that he had another knee injury. If not, this guy will be higher. Every year that he has been with this team, that he's been healthy, his number has increased from 82 tackles to 95 tackles to 104 tackles. Prior to him getting hurt last year, he had 104 tackles and 7 sacks, and then the year before it was like 5.5 sacks, if I'm not mistaken. He could do it all. Again, this is the biggest boom bust player in this draft. If we can cultivate him, groom him, keep him healthy, then I'm not saying he could replace Luke Kuechly, but I definitely think he could be in a valuable piece to this defense. Again, his risk, but you can take a risk this low in the draft with 1 round to go. I really like this guy. I really do, man. So just pray that he gets healthy. All right, y'all, we made it to the 7th round, and the Carolina Panthers are once again back on the clock. All right, so with that being said, we haven't really addressed the defensive end spot. Again, I want to make it clear that it's not a whole lot of depth at the defensive end spot in here. I think it's going to get going pretty quick, whatever depth there is. So, with that being said, I think the Carolina Panthers are ready to make this selection. The pick is now in. With the 7th round pick, the Carolina Panthers select Jason Stower, UNC defensive end. Again, this guy's 6'4", 285, project kind of player. 1 forced fumble, 3 sacks. Guy who has a lot of works in his mechanics. Doesn't necessarily have a high motor. Does have power, strength to get off the blocks. He has to improve his pass rush for him to really be a legit draft prospect or whatever. So, with that being said, I think this is a guy who we can kind of build for the future. Good at stuffing the run, good at being a big body as well. So, again, project player. So, let's recap this draft real quick. We got Derrick Brown with the number 1 pick. We trade Cam Newton for the 15th pick from the Denver Broncos. Get T. Higgins. We also get a 3rd round draft pick out of that, the 83rd draft pick. Mekhi Becton, we get him in the 2nd round, offensive tackle from Louisville, 6'7", 360-pound, offensive machine, balanced, smooth pass blocker. Then with our 3rd round pick, get Trevon Diggs, hell of a zone corner from Alabama. With the other 3rd round pick from Denver Broncos, we get Jake Hanson, center from Oregon. With our 4th round pick, one of my favorite picks on this draft right here, Kmet, tight end from Notre Dame. Check him out. Also, 5th round pick, we finally get Jalen Hurts, think Jalen Hurts going to take a tumble right to us. In the 6th round pick, we get Marcus Bailey, a guy who I'm super high on if he can stay healthy. I think he's going to surprise a lot of you guys. And with the 7th round pick, we take Jason Stauer from UNC. If I had to pick a weakness about this mock draft, it's the defensive end. Again, it's not a whole lot. And I think we got too many holes to really harp down on that defensive end. I think Derrick Brown, you got Mario Addison coming back to the defensive line, and then you got Marquise Haynes. Then bring in a veteran defensive end to help fill that. But that's probably the weakness about this draft. Other than that, I like it. I like it 10 toes down. I promise you that. This won't be the last mock draft we have, but this is definitely the first one. So I can't wait to show you guys what else. Tune in tomorrow, y'all. I'm your host, the Granite Guy, also known as the Big Cat. Tune in tomorrow on the live stream, y'all. Guess what? This time, you guys get to pick. First 7 callers call in. I'm going to write down who you guys choose. You can choose to trade the pick. You can do whatever, man. We're going to have fun with this. Make sure you do your homework. Make sure you do your research, just like the Big Cat. Tell me what you think, man. I like each and every one. Make sure you share the video, like the video. Tell a friend. Follow me on podcast. Subscribe to me on the YouTube channel. And follow me on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. Keep _TV. Let's get up out of here, y'all. Let the church say, damn.